Konnichiwa and welcome everybody back to Chrono Reviews. It's time for the last Jurassic World Attack Pack, and it's nothing less than the Dilophosaurus. So this is the last one I'm getting before the release of Wave 2, which have a few ones I'm interested in, like the other version of the Dimorphodon and the Protoceratops, Herrerasaurus, Proceratosaurus. There's a lot of nice extra species I'd like to have on the shelf. And as for this one, it was one of those I did not consider from the start, but well, I fell in love with it because the sculpture is quite good actually, and I mean, I do have a lot of Dilophosaurus and I am a huge fan of Dilophosaurus. It's had one iconic scene in the whole franchise, except for the hologram scene in the Jurassic World movie. But I don't know, you know, I have the canon ones, not the Lost World repaint, but I have the Jurassic Park 3 one, but not the Hasbro Jurassic World one. I'm not sure on that one, but I like Dilophosaurus. It's one of my personal favorites, except for everyone's favorite Raptors and T-Rex. The Dilophosaurus deserves a top spot. And I actually feel like, yeah, I'm getting this. So actually, in the end, from wanting just the Dimorphodon, I ended up getting all the attack packs from Wave 1. And I suppose that will happen with Wave 2 as well. They're quite cheap, so there's nothing, and they don't take up that much space either, so it's a nice collecting. It's nice collecting. And as like the others, this one have the same package basically. It says attack pack, but the name is different, so Dilophosaurus. And there's the nice volcano art in the background. I like that. And Jurassic World logo. And on the back there is, just like the others, information on the Jurassic Facts app. And it says Mattel. Alright, here we have it! The Mattel Attack Pack Dilophosaurus. And I must say, overall, how it's made, it's my least favorite of the attack packs, but overall it's still pretty nice. So going straight into business, we're going to check out the articulation this time first. So the tail is soft, so it will not break, it will bend a little bit. And the legs are very stiff actually. The articulation is very stiff. I think maybe if you use it a few times it will get better. It's like, so this leg is a little bit more bent and this is a little bit more stretched out, but it's not that much bent, so it almost feels like this leg is slightly shorter. I mean, well, this part is more bent, so I guess it works. And the arms also have articulation. It's also slightly stiff at the start, but they're soft, sort of, so they will not break, just like with blue. And the frill is articulated. This side is quite good. This one is stiff, but it goes all the way like this if you want to. What I do not like as far as the sculpture goes is those parts here where the frill articulation are. They look like humps on its back or neck. I mean, I don't really like that much. I prefer the old way where the frill was a separate softer part you can press on. I will come to that in a little while. So I will display it like this to hide that part. And also it's roaring, it's an open mouth, so basically you want to have the frill up close like this. And as far as paint job goes, this one have quite clean and nice paint job. It looks almost printed on the frill, but it's nice. I think it's nice. It's decent in a good way. And the crests are separately painted. And the eyes are red and there are darker green around the eyes. I like that detail too. The teeth are nice, as you can see. They're a little bit lacking on the outer side of the teeth when you look at the lower jaw, but the upper jaw is good, and the tongue are separately painted too. The main body is a little bit not shaded, but it's like speckled slightly with darker green dots minimally, so it does not look totally plain, but from the rear it's basically a big lump of green in any case. That's a thing with every Dilophosaurus figure. The backside of the frill are never painted. Unless it is green in the movie on the backside. But I can't remember if you saw it from the behind. I will need to check that up at another time. The upper side of the tail actually have dark green stripes. I wish the stripes were continuing up on the back, because that would have added a lot, but it did not. So it's basically a lump of green. But it's still pretty nice. I mean, it's quite good nonetheless. I mean, I do like the Dilophosaurus. It's one of my favorite dinosaurs from Jurassic Park, so I really wanted to collect this one regardless. And a little bit hard to balance because it's weight when the frill is up, and it's like the Gallimimus, it's one of the more poor balanced ones, but it works. It's still good value. And this one, not to forget, do actually come with an accessory, which is the venomous spit effects part. You can put into its mouth like that, so now it's spitting on you. This part will probably get lost easily, so if the kids will lose this part probably, but you know, let's hope they take good care of it. I have most of those missiles and stuff from my toys still standing, not getting lost. They are a little bit spread out in my toy boxes, but they are there if you search hard enough. So let's see if we can get this to stand. Oh wait, hold on. First off, the Jurassic Facts app code on the foot is right there. Now let's do some comparisons. First off, if you compare this Dilophosaurus to the, fitting enough, the Kenner Dennis Nedry. I usually use Grant for comparison, but this time, in the honor of the Dilophosaurus, let's use Nedry. Well, it's not that much too small as I expected it to be. It's actually quite good. A little bit too small, but still decent size actually. And if you compare it to the Alan Grant from Jurassic Park 3, which is more like what we will get out of this line for humans. I wish I had a own figure or something to compare with, but let's do with this for now. It's actually pretty good here too. I mean, it's above my expectation actually. I thought it was really tiny, too tiny, but it's actually, it works. Let's stop at saying that. It works. No more, no less. And here's Blue from Attack Pack. So the Dilophosaurus is smaller than Blue, and it's smaller than the Gallimimus, but I mean, it still works. The Dilophosaurus is supposed to be juvenile. This probably was more of a even younger juvenile, probably, if you had that as imagination for it, but it works. Now let's do some serious business and compare to the other Dilophosauruses. Here's the Kenner one, and this one is actually, I think it, okay, the one leg is slightly loose, so I need to hold it with my hand like this. I think actually this Dilophosaurus is slightly too big for movie, the size in the movie compared to Nedry. Maybe it's hard to tell, but it's at least bigger than this one regardless. I mean, it really is. And then there is the electronic Dilophosaurus from Kenner. It's slightly bigger. This one is the example I mean. This is how I wish the frill was. A softer frill that you can push on like this. And this Dilophosaurus is actually, it is really big compared. It's more muscular and everything. When I was a kid I used this as the bull. I said that this was a male. And my other ones were the smaller ones. The females. So this one was basically a male one in my imagination, but we all know it's basically the same dinosaur, just different toys of it. So the new one is tiny compared to this one, but comparing to this one, it's even more tiny. I mean, this one is... I need to even raise the camera. The Jurassic Park 3 Dilophosaurus is way too big. But it's actually more accurate towards the scientific true size of a Dilophosaurus compared to Nedry. So we can do these sound effects like this. Just because I can. What I don't like about this one is the spread out, more prefixed pose. So this one has sort of a light version of this prefixed pose, but this one is actually better when it comes to that. This one has better feet design and all that. Those Jurassic Park 3 toys were actually decent. It was Hasbro's last decent figures before they ruined Jurassic Park. But the paint job and all those on those are quite pretty nice. This one is too big for a Dilophosaurus, especially considering it was the Jurassic Park 3 line with this Grant. I mean, it's way too big when comparing to that. Well, Jurassic Park 3 line was like that. That's just how it was. But to sum this up, this Dilophosaurus is very decent. It's my least favorite out of the attack packs. The Dimorphodon still stands on top together with Blue. But this one is decent and I do not regret buying it. And for kids, this is a really decent toy to play with in any case, and I think many will enjoy it. And it's nice to see the Dilophosaurus back, and it's nice to see the Dilophosaurus in good detail, regardless of the downsides with the figure. It's still a good figure, and I highly recommend it if you're a dinosaur collector, Jurassic Park toy collector, or if you have kids and want to give them a nice dinosaur that's durable and you can play with. And with the extra spit parts, it's quite nice too. So with that, I conclude this review. I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, take care and sayonara.